Oh, this is Paper Cut Radiation here. This is going to be a review of the more recent updates. So I know in my last stream, I was really criticizing the recent update, and some of the criticism I'm giving it are still intact to this day. So I'll get straight to the point. So I'm going to be 100% honest. This is arguably one of the I would say one of the worst Fall Guys updates, if I'm being 100% honest. So I really don't like this because to me, I just think the fun has really gotten downgraded. That's like the best way to say it. You see, look at this. See, look at this stage. This is one of the creative stages. This is a player-created stage. Don't get me wrong, they are good, but this shouldn't be part of the main show. It's like, I would say maybe 3/4 of these stages now are now player-made. That's the 3/4 of the stages in the main show are just player-made. And again, just rinse and repeat, recycling over and over again. It's nothing creative, it's nothing fun. They need to bring back these seasons, like, to add different themes to it, to add, like, more fun to it. Here, you can only do so much. It's like, you know, it's... How should I say it? It's like... To me, this is how I feel. It's like something that's originally a PS3 game, but then you get PS2 maps, right? PS2 maps on a PlayStation 3 shooting game, right? But you shove PlayStation 2 maps where you can only do so much. That's what this Fall Guys has pretty much felt like. Or, you know, you could use another analogy. PlayStation 4 game, right? But you use but then you use like PlayStation 3 or even PlayStation 2 maps just to add in like where it's maybe a little different, but it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. And because, you know, obviously, when I compare those two things, right, you're limiting the creativity by doing this. Like, the developers, they really need to, like, add in, like, actual new maps, not just player-created maps, or maps you use, you know, use the creation, in-game creation to use. Because, see, it's just rinse and repeat all the time. And I really don't like this. And this is why I'm probably not going to be playing Fall Guys after I get the next Battle Pass. And just to clarify, I got the Battle Pass before I realized how bad this update really was. And I got the Battle Pass pretty much for free because I got the Fall Guys before it became free to play. And they had a deal where you get Season 1 of the Battle Pass for free if you bought it before. So I just kept recycling the Battle Pass over and over and over again because you could do that, because you obviously it earned the currency by completing the Battle Pass. So I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know how much I'm going to be playing this game after I complete the Battle Pass, and this is why I haven't really been streaming the game that much. This, I would say, is the second worst update of all time, maybe the third worst, but I thought it was horrible in Season 3, free-to-play Season 3, where they vaulted the maps. It was understandable, but it was still horrible. And here, I feel like, honestly, that Epic Games or Mediatonic, they're, like, just trying too hard right now. I think they should just go back to their roots, go to what made Fall Guys really good, and stick to that. They're trying too hard to make it creative. They should just start over again with the new seasons. Maybe add a season that has like 20 maps made by the developers. You know, do something like that, or maybe have a spaceship themed map like they did in Free to Play Season 2, because that was really good. You know, I think that's when Fall Guys was at its prime. Was when, you know, or one of the times when it was at its prime was Free to Play Season 2, And I'm going to be fair. You see, Mediatonic, at least they actually try. At least they're actually trying to make this game good. But in my opinion, and again, I might want to ask someone else's opinion, because I am an OG Fall Guys player. I know some people may think that's a little funny when they hear that, but I really am. I've been playing this game pretty much constantly ever since, and regularly too. It's been one of my regular online multiplayer games I've been playing ever since 2020, back in August of 2020 when it launched. So I know all about this game. I know all about Fall Guys. And I know the difference between the OG Fall Guys version of Fall Guys and the free-to-play version and what it is now. Basically, the creative stage is taken over, which, as I said, it's kind of ironic because it does take away the creativity, it takes away the fun. And I think, you know, and the vaulting is one thing, and I think they got to do something about the vaulting. The stages, because there's so many stages. Like, here's an example. some of the most creative stages, right, was free-to-play Season 2 when they had the spaceship theme. But some of those stages only lasted literally 60 days, like literally 60 days, because those stages got vaulted after that. And I don't know why they vaulted it so fast, because they were really great. And it's just been a real issue ever since. Fall Guys has just never really felt the same. You know, so I'm going to explain the history. Fall Guys OG Season 1, it was good. It did get a little stale sometimes, but it was still great overall. I mean, it was really fun, creative. And then Season 2, OG Season 2, that was the medieval theme, right? So Fall Guys OG Season 2 was, I have to say, was a bit of a disappointment, because they only had like 4 maps total, like 2 original maps. You know, two of the maps were like really just recycled, you know, versions of other ones, of other maps. But yeah, I would say like maybe, so there are at least 4 maps though. But again, 4 maps after waiting like 2 months after Season 1, I can see why a lot of people gave up on the game. But then came Fall Guys, but I still liked it though, because they didn't have any vaulting. They still had all the OG stages, which I thought were really great. And then like they had the season, you know, the original Season 1 stages, which again, they're all great. And I like the team battles too. I personally like the team battles, even though it did make it harder to get a win. I still thought it was really great. It was a great change of pace, and the creativity was there. And then one of the best seasons was Fall Guys OG Season 3. That was when they had a winter theme update, and it was just great, because I told you, Fall Guys is like, to me, is a lot like Frogger, and it was practically a winter themed version of Frogger, because the stages were a lot more like Frogger. You could actually slide down the slides, jump through hoops. It was so great. I mean, they had so much creativity. And then new team battles where you kind of have to roll up a snowball. You would have to like, you know, maybe grab a certain point and like hold it for a certain amount of time. I mean, it was just so fun. The fun was there. The fun was alive during those times. And they had stages where you would like go onto fans and you would go up in the air and then try to get to the platform in the middle, and then go through obstacle courses. I mean, it's like you could see the fun, you could see the creativity, atmosphere. It was really there. You could really feel the game. And then Season 4 was great. Then they added in the I don't know if it was a cyberpunk or spaceship theme, or, you know, anime theme, you know, however you want to interpret it. But the point is that they still had really great creative stages there. And again, you know, they had different themes, and even though there weren't that many new stages, it was still great. I mean, I would say that maybe, if I had to compare the two, I would say maybe a little bit weaker than Season 3, but still pretty good. They still had some creative stuff. I mean, they added in like another, you know, obstacle survival mode, which was really fun. They did add in one boring stage though. That's the one where they shoot obstacles that you have to bounce off the edge. I don't know what the developers are thinking. If I'm being honest, it's one of my least favorites. So that's a big reason why I do think it was one of the weaker seasons in the OG era. But then we had the jungle theme, which again was creative. That was also really good. They had the Rhino theme, which was great. It was a lot like Frogger too. They had the ones. They did have a few boring ones though. You see that the fun was still there. They had like, you know, a couple of sales stages, but again, majority of the time it was actually fun. And also in Season 4, if I recall correctly, they still had the team games. Again, all the team games were really great. I thought that some of the team games, like, they had the basketball theme in Season 4. I forgot to tell you, the cyberpunk or futuristic slash spaceship theme one, / anime, they actually had, like, the basketball theme, which was great. That was, like, really fun. It really added in a big flavor to Fall Guys. And they had the survival mode. It was just so diverse, so much to do. And then sorry about that. So I got distracted by something. But anyways, as I was saying, but then, you know, then they took away, I believe, if I recall correctly, I think in Season 5, that's when they took away the creative game. No, not the creative games, the team games, which, again, understandable. A lot of people were complaining about that. And again, it did kind of ruin the fun if your teammates were the reason why you lost, right? So that was, you know, that was understandable. It's still, to me, it was still a bummer, but I could definitely see where they were coming from, so I tend to let it slide. And then they had but then it was so long, we had to literally wait months before we got another season update. And that's because Fall Guys was trying to make it free to play, and they had big plans. So they were focusing on the, apparently they're focused on the creative mode. So we had to wait, like, literally, I think, so I'll explain the order, right? Fall Guys OG Season 1 was released in August of 2020, and then about 2 months later, we got Season 2, in October of 2020, and then December of 2020, we got Season 3, right? Then we had to wait another time, a bit of time, until we got to April of 2020. And then we had to wait until July, which was still not that big of a wait. So, nice, I won. That's great, I won. So, as I was saying, though, we had, the point is, what I'm trying to make is that we did have to wait a while, but it wasn't that long. But then in Season 5, right, we had a jungle theme, but then we had kind of a party theme. It's kind of like, basically the OG seasons, but in a more fun kind of way, you know what I mean? A more party theme kind of way. Which was not bad, but again, we had to wait literally 6 months to get that. And then we had to wait another 6 months, in the year of 2022. So in 2021, April 2021, we got Season 4, right? OG. July, in 2021, we got Season 5. And then December, we had to wait literally six months, or almost 6 months. And we had to wait another 6 months to get the free-to-play. Can you imagine how stale the game would get? Literally, no new stages between that time. You see, that's the time when Fall Guys was already starting to get a little stale and the fun was starting to drain away because there was no new content coming out. But then I understood because we had free-to-play. Free-to-play in the year of 2022 came out, and it definitely added in a fresh new start to Fall Guys, which was great. They added in some really great creative stages. They had more variants where you could jump through hoops to get points. They had like new finales, kind of dodgeball finales where you throw balls at people and then it explodes. It was really great. That fun was there, and the hexagon stage that also had the new variant where you can kind of run on a balance bridge too, with the hexagons disappearing. Yeah, that was all great, and that was great. And then a few months later, so in June, and then we had to wait until I believe August, to get Season 2. Free-to-play version of Season 2. So August of 2022, which was great. Yeah, that added in more spaceship things. I get. That's when I was at its prime. But now we get to, let's see, I believe, if I recall correctly, we get to December. I gotta look at the calendar again. But December of 2022, not December, November. No, sorry, not December. Somewhere around October or November of 2022. That's when Fall Guys was the beginning of the downfall, the real downfall. Not just when it started to get stale, but when it really started to get downgraded. You see, it got stale in the OG season, but I never really thought it got downgraded, even though it just got stale and could easily get burned up. But to me, it really got downgraded after Season 3 free-to-play, because they had so many stages now, they had to vault things, which really took away the fun. And the worst part about the vaulting is that they would rarely they would rarely like unvault certain stages and switch them around. They would switch them around, but they wouldn't do that very often. And that was like, to me, was not a good thing, because those stages would get stale. I mean, Fall Guys, let's face it, even during the OG days, Fall Guys OG Season 6, right? Think about it. It would get stale enough, even with all those original stages there. But imagine that, but with only half the stages. I mean, that's how bad it was. Like, that was only bad half the stages. You see, that was a reality. Is that there's so many of the stages got vaulted. And to me, there were a lot of stages, boring stages that did not get vaulted. A lot of fun stages got vaulted. So that was a very, very bad thing. And then they added the creative mode, which was a good effort, but again, it took away the fun. And then, so the creative mode also didn't happen until June. So you had to put up with all these vaulted stages for 6 months, which was very bad. This is all in the year of 2023. And then May of 2023, they added in the creative mode, which added in some creativity. But again, it's like a PlayStation 2 game, a bunch of different PlayStation 2 maps in a PlayStation 4 game. That's what it was like. You can only do so much in creative mode. Like, there was no soul, no creativity there. Like, no real atmosphere. Like this stage. See, this is kind of fun, but compare this to some of the OG stages Fall Guys has. I mean, it doesn't even compare. Like Season 3 OG, you just look at those two, it doesn't compare. I mean, there's like there's no soul in this stage. It's just, whoops, oh, that was silly. Anyways, I keep forgetting that's a hazard. Alright, that was a little silly, but you get my point, right? There's no soul, and again, the worst part is that they just kept rotating the, basically the quote-unquote PlayStation 2 stages over and over and over again, and there was like no new actual season. And even to this day, it's been what, almost a year, and still no new stage. And then this new update comes out, right? So now back to the present. This new update comes out, where they reduce it from 60. So they released it. I don't remember when they did this, but they actually cut the player count down from 60 to 40, which was okay. I didn't mind that. But then they cut it from like 40 to 30. And the worst part about this is that first this game got this game originally only had three rounds after this recent update, which I thought was horrible. That should not happen, Fall Guys. It's way too short. And then look at all these stages that you've seen. There's like, it's just rinse and repeat, maybe a little bit different spectacle, but that's it. A little bit different atmosphere, but again, no soul, no creativity. And they did, I'm going to be fair, I'll give credit where credit is due. Mediatonic, I said earlier, they at least tried to please the fans. Which, I give them credit to, because let's just face it, there are a lot of video game companies that, I'll just straight up be honest, that just don't care. They're just interested in money. I'm not going to mention the names. But Mediatonic is not one of those games. They at least try. But it's like they're trying to, but they're failing. You see, one of the things they try to do was they try to make it a little bit better. And I'll be honest, if you notice that the average show now is here, they moved it up from 3 to 4 rounds, which again, that's something I can take. And they also some stages that were originally a final were actually moved to a regular survival, which I thought was a bad thing. But then Mediatonic reversed all that, so that was good. They at least tried. But is this game, like, sure, it's gotten a teeny, and I mean a tiny little bit better. But is it a good update? Absolutely not. It is. Listen, I'm going to sound harsh here, but it is a horrible, and I mean a horrible update. And listen, I know some people may think, oh, Papercut's being really harsh, using soft spoken. Listen, I'm just being straight up honest right now. And I'm like an OG fan of Fall Guys, and I guess to a degree I still am, but I used to be such a big fan of this game, because it reminded me, I already said, it reminds me of Frogger. It's like a Battle Royale version of Frogger. It's like a Frogger sequel, the PlayStation 1 version of Frogger, right? It was like the sequel I was always looking for. And it was really family friendly and really fun. And that's what I really liked about this. It was a great way to have, to just kind of relax and have fun. And to be honest, that fun doesn't exist anymore. It's like a chewing gum that's lost its flavor. It's like just, see, this is just the same thing over and over and over again. With just different obstacles at different places. There's no soul, no creativity. I know I keep saying this. So, it's a real shame, because some people who might have just gotten into this game would be like, Papercut's being harsh, I don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, true, I may be harsh, but I'm saying this from a perspective of someone who's played like the original maps. And I'm just disappointed that I think Fall Guys could have been something much bigger than this. I honestly think it easily could have been more popular than Fortnite, but poor decisions I think were made, and this is why the game has gotten downgraded. I guarantee you that if they found a different solution instead of vaulting the maps back in the free-to-play version of Season 2, right? If they actually added that, let's just say this. This is, in my opinion, if I were the developers of Fall Guys, I would have done this. After the after the free-to-play version of Season 2, when it was still at its prime, I wouldn't have done the vaulting. I probably would have just maybe reduced it down to, 4 rounds, right? I wouldn't have done any vaulting, maybe reduce the player count to 30, and then maybe add in a rank mode, to kind of encourage people to, a rank mode, to encourage people to jump in, and maybe add in creative modes, but do it exclusively for rank, so it could kind of give you a competitive feel. Then that way you could have a casual and ranked mode. It's, it might sound ridiculous, but kind of similar to what they do in fighting games. And again, that's like the basics of what I would do. Obviously more be more advanced than that. But that's what I think. I think Fall Guys would have at least been, in my opinion, it easily could have been somewhat better than what it is now. And in all honesty, it might have even been it might have reached at least half the popularity of Fortnite, maybe even more than that. But it's a real shame that because of poor decisions that were made, this game is made a shell of what it used to be. Because I remember back in August of 2020, if I recall correctly, this game was actually getting more plays than Fortnite. I'm 100% serious. It was for a short time, back when it was like super popular. But I understand that Mediatonic back then, they couldn't afford to, regularly update the game, because that was before Epic Games bought it. But I do believe that after Epic Games bought it, when it became free-to-play, because Epic Games helped make it free-to-play, I believe that alternate decision could have been made that could have made this game much better, because there were a lot of people who got back when this became free-to-play. And I think they were very, very poor decisions. Instead of adding in, constantly swarming the game with new stages, they focused more on creating the creative round, which as I said, it's like getting, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a PlayStation 4 game that has 100 PlayStation 2 graphics and PlayStation 2 quality, graphic quality maps, or, PlayStation 2 atmosphere maps, or 20 PlayStation 4 maps? I know what I'd choose. I'd definitely choose the 20 PlayStation 4 maps. And I believe in quality over quantity. Bigger does not always mean better. And I think Fall Guys is big, but definitely not better. And in fact, I think it's much worse than what it used to be. And again, this is probably one of the harshest reviews I've ever given. And again, I don't mean to be harsh. I don't mean to, be all grumpy. I'm just being 100% honest. I'm just, saying I'm very disappointed in this game right now. And listen, some people are probably going to have different opinions, and as I say, I always respect people's opinions. I always respect people's opinions. People are entitled to their own opinion. If people completely disagree with me, hey, I completely understand. But I think I've ranted enough about this. I'm probably not going to be playing this game for a while unless they do something drastic with this game, like that's actually good, or B, they add a rank match, or C, they add in an actual sequel to the game, or something like a sequel. But they gotta do something really big with this game if I'm going to get back into this being a regular player here. Because I'm going to be honest, even like now, even though I'm winning, I'm getting burnout. You see, it's not the fact I'm losing, it's the fact I'm getting burnout. I'm not having fun. That's the thing. I always say, video games are not, win or lose doesn't matter. It's about having fun. And even though I'm winning, I'm not having fun. And that's why I'm not going to be playing this game much longer. As I said, I'm not, if you notice, I'm not too far from getting the, completing the Fame Pass, you see. I thought that it's actually called Fame Pass, okay. See, they're just 2 Showbucks ahead. I want to make sure I get those Showbucks because, again, why not? I'm so close to getting that. But after I complete the Fame Pass, I'm probably not going to be playing this game that much anymore, to be honest. Unless, I already mentioned the 3 things. Unless one of the 3 things happen, and I'll say one more time. Either rank mode happens, competitive rank mode, something drastic and good happens with the game, or if they add a sequel to the game. An actual sequel. But, again, I might find another multiplayer game. I might not. I should say a non-fighting game multiplayer game. I'll still definitely be playing Mortal Kombat 1 and Tekken 8. Mortal Kombat 1, not sure how much longer. Tekken 8 definitely will be playing for a while. The point is that I might have to find another multiplayer. We'll see. But yeah, as I said, I'm very disappointed. And again, thank you for listening. If you're still here, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. This is potentially probably the last Fall Guys stream for a while, if maybe even forever. I would say big maybe forever. So yeah, that's it. And this is also, I guess, a review and also an explanation of why I may not be streaming Fall Guys for a very long time, if not forever. So, again, thank you for all your support. I appreciate it, and you all have a good one. Bye.